and turn those into wisdom nuggets that are going to help somebody else navigate in their marriage.
Right. And keeping things biblical as well. You know, if I can give you the sound biblical counsel, then it shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of times, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has been counted out, because, you know, they say, oh, you can't counsel someone and you haven't been successful in your marriage. You can't, you know, you want to get some wisdom from somebody that's been in their marriage for years. But some of those people that have been in marriage for years have never struggled with some of the issues of life within the church.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And hey, you know, we're in a different generation. We're in a different time.
Yeah, we are.
So I just wanted to hear what you had to say about that. And then what are some of the red flags that we should be looking for when we're getting ready to consider a person for marriage?
Well, I think that we don't ask the right questions. I think one of the first questions that you need to ask a person, first of all, you need to see how they interact with their family.
Yes.
That's so important. What is his relationship with his mother? How does he handle that relationship? What is the relationship with, if he has children from a previous marriage, is he taking care of those children? What's his relationship? You need to ask questions. What is your sexual history? Have you ever had sex with somebody of the same sex? You know, have you been promiscuous? You know, you need to be asking the hard questions. What is your credit score?
Amen. And get all three agencies, please.
Right. I need a tri-bureau report. And so forth. Have you ever filed bankruptcy? Have you ever had a house foreclosed on? What is your employment history? What's the longest you stayed at a job? Do you have a 401k?
Do you have a savings account?
What is your plan to take care of us? What are your goals? What is your aim? What's important to you? How are you gonna act when I make you mad?
Woo-oh. Hello.
Because until you make somebody mad, you do not know their true self. You do not know who they are.
You should go through all 4 seasons. That's a whole year.
Yeah.
To figure life out.
What are your sexual appetites? Do you have a sexual appetite?
Right.
And so forth. Are you what's your reason for wanting to get married? What is
the purpose?
What is the purpose? Are you looking for a right now, or are you looking for a forever?
That exactly.
Jesus.
Because people will want to get married because they don't want to discipline themselves in a certain area.
Absolutely. And you know, and some people, and we put it all on the women, but men get married for security as well.
That's good, sir.
Women don't just get married for security. Men get married. Some men get married. Some men get married because they need to marry a beard.
Oh my! Listen.
So look, let's just keep it 100. Look, we have all different reasons for getting married. We need to find out what is the real reason. Are you married? Am I getting married because I need somebody to make me happy? I disagree with getting married to make somebody happy, because you should already be happy when I meet you.
Yes,
Amen.
yes, because that's your responsibility. That is solely your responsibility.
I can contribute to your happiness, but I shouldn't be responsible for your happiness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I had a question.
Sure.
Being churched, being a bishop, do you feel like the church puts more emphasis on getting the woman ready for marriage than they do the men? Because to the point that you were making, when some men are just looking for a beard, why is it that we don't address and really raise up men to be husbands in the church?
Well, I think in very traditional settings, very traditional religious settings, that yes, they put a lot of emphasis on the woman, preparing her. Can she cook? Can she dress? Can she pray? Some of those things are important. But let's be realistic. Those aren't important values anymore to a lot of women. My ability to be able to cook doesn't matter as long as I look good and I keep them interested. And so forth. I think that the church has not done a good job about preparing men, teaching men proper male principles instead of them depending on man code from the world.
Oh my!
That's so good.
what makes a man is not his ability to be able to perform in the bedroom.
Because you got to get out of that bed at some point.
Yeah, that doesn't make a man. Your marriage shouldn't be held together by what's between your legs.
Exactly.
And so forth. I think that the church has done a poor job about preparing men. Because we have men that get married, but they don't have a plan for their marriage. I think that me personally, I think that when a man gets married, I should have a house to move my wife into and not my mother's basement.
Come on here, Jesus.
I should have some provisions and so forth. And so, and that's important. Granted, things happen along the way, certainly, and everybody's not at that place, but that should be a goal. That should be a goal. And even if you lost a couple of things along the way, there should be a goal of recovery. How are we going to recover the past status that we had?
Right. That's so good. That's so good, because the reality is that life does happen. People do get sick, things happen, they lose their homes, they go into foreclosure and things of that sort. But as you stated, there should be a plan of recovery. What do I do now? What are my next steps? Am I ready for a relationship? Do I want to introduce a woman into my situation? Or should I just wait until I can gather my things together and know how to support myself before I bring someone else included into this situation?
And let me say this, as a single person that's courting, it's not a good look to be parading a different man through your church every month. And that goes to male and female. Don't be parading somebody different every month.
You will only see him when it's serious.
Right.
And look, even when it becomes serious, you won't see him until it becomes official.
Right. Right.
Nobody is playing that game today.
Exactly, because at 51, I promise you, listen, I don't have those type of role games. You know what I mean? It's like you have to be certain that you know, and that Jesus has spoken and confirmed. You both have heard from the Lord about this here thing,
right?
Because when you get down to it, it's one of those things. People get involved, and then people that are in your life, they become emotionally attached as well. So why take everybody through what we're going through, and then they watching me and trying to figure out, okay, how you gonna recover after this? Now they're questioning everybody they come through. Let me meet them. Let me scope them out. As there some people say, let me vet them. See what's happening.
And don't depend on your girlfriends. Don't depend on your girlfriends to vet them, because they might secretly want them.
Well, and at this age, it's not even my girlfriends. It's my pastor and first lady.
Okay, right.
They really have to go past him. And some of my other spiritual friends, like my friend here, Prophetess Nichole, she has to say, thus saith the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Before I put a stamp on anything. And if it can't get past them, because my parents are deceased. So I don't have that position, but I have people in place that are connected to me that can say amen or nope.
Or wait, or I see something. I see some flags. I see some blind spots that you don't see.
Exactly, because I'm so caught up in my flesh that my spirit can't hear. Yeah, I understand it. Prophetess Nichole, you have a question?
So I'm about to shift this all the way. So the word of God says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Does that mean that a woman can't look? And can you look online? Can you browse through the interweb to look?
Well,
or is that too carnal?
Well, no, I don't think it's carnal. I met my wife on blackchristiansingles.com.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I met my wife on Black Christian Singles, and so you have to. There's nothing wrong with making it known that you are ready for marriage, but you again, I don't believe that you should, as it relates to, when you meet somebody on the, on one of those virtual platforms, that the conversation, because you know what, guess what, you can find some really good friends. No, you're not good for, you're not my type, but guess what, you can be a good friend. And so I believe that it's okay for a woman to have her available light on, and so forth. but don't chase, don't chase a man. Don't, be aggressive and say, hey, you're going to be my husband. And, the first time you speak to them and all that, I don't think that's not cool. And you might run them away if you do that.
Yeah.
Go on there and say, I prophesy that you're going to be my husband.
It happens. And I think that, me and my wife didn't have a long engagement. We were engaged for 7 months.
Good. Because when you know, right?
Yeah, when you know. I was real clear. I was very clear that she was the one and so forth. And even if a man comes to you and saying you're the one, you still have a mind of your own and so forth, because how can you be the one if you're not even what I like? And God can adjust that now. God can give you a love for a man that wouldn't be your normal pick. Now I wasn't my wife's normal pick. My wife didn't like big guys. To be honest, she wasn't attracted to big guys, but we were friends, and then we fell in love, and we got married and so forth. And so when we met, she thought we were just going to be good friends, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times people look at the outer appearance and say no, when really and truly you don't know what your type is, because you didn't create yourself.
Right.
So a lot of things in the flesh which you like, but it might not necessarily be what God has planned and created you to be, and who you're to be with. So we don't know what our types are like. So we have to go with God's plan, because whoever God has prepared for you, He has considered everything that you've been through, everything that you're going through, your makeup, all of that, including your gifts. And then He's paired you up together for a purpose. There's a divine purpose behind it all. And so it's not about the outer appearance. It's whatever it is according to the Spirit.
Yeah.
And then your soul will agree.
And I don't think that in this, you don't have to, when you're dating somebody for marriage, they don't have to be your type, but they do have to be your tribe.
Hello, come on here.
That part.
They got to be your tribe.
Y'all better write that down. Your tribe.
They have to be your tribe. There have to be markings about them that say that you can marry them.
Yeah.
Come on here. That DNA is important.
It is so important. And the reason why some marriages don't work, because they have more DNA conflicts than they do complements.
Come on. That's so true. That's so true. Just because you have a pretty smile and nice eyes doesn't necessarily mean that you're my type or the one that God has for me.
And just because you like the way they look with the eyelashes and the lace fronts and the red bottom and
come on here. Stop talking about my eyelashes, Bishop.
Well, it's okay. I think that the accoutrements that the women wear to look beautiful are wonderful things, and God made them for that and so forth. But you gotta like it when it comes off.
Yes.
You gotta like it when it comes off. You have to like it when it comes off, because hey, some of us want everybody to believe that we wake up looking fabulous every day.
Yeah, so that's why you gotta shock them with a video chat without all of the other stuff. I did that one time. I shocked this guy. He did a video chat and I answered it. And I had on no makeup, no eyelashes, hair pinned up. And he was like, whoa. He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, whoa. He wasn't expecting that. I'm like, this is me.
This is me.
This is who I am. He's like, oh, he said, you're still beautiful. I said, well, thank you. Because if you can't deal with this, you will never be able to deal with it later on.
Absolutely. I believe that with all my heart.
Okay, we're going to go right into a break. After this, we'll be right back.
VMP Media is currently servicing clients with podcasts, webinars, and remote live streaming needs. Email us at info@vmpmagazine.com or contact our Director of Sales, Ms. Karon McConnell-Jones, at 202-904-1000. VNP, inspiring our community.
Welcome back to Higher Heights. We have our guest with us, Bishop Avery Kinney. Bishop, I have questions.